Welcome to my very first video. I'm Valerie with thelocoapple.com. Recently I posted a recipe for rainbow cultured vegetables, and a couple of you wrote in saying, what the heck are these things? How do I make them? This seems complicated. But I'm here today to tell you and show you it's not complicated. You can do it, and in fact, I think once you start, you're gonna get hooked. So for this recipe, this is technically lacto-fermented vegetables because we're using whey as a culturing starter. Now, if you don't want to use whey, you can use a culture starter that you get at your local health food store. You can even do it wild, which means you just might add a little bit more salt and let the natural bacteria in the air and on the vegetables do the work of culturing the vegetables. I've done it that way before this recipe, and it has worked fine. Whey is just a little bit easier and more consistent than wild culturing is. So, what the heck is whey, and where the heck do you get it? So, I wish I had not done this yesterday, so I could show you, but pretend I have an imaginary container of full-fat organic yogurt. And I say full fat because here in the real food world and in my real food kitchen, fat is extremely important. It's essential to your health, to that stable energy, and it is actually essential to your sex hormones because sex hormones are made from cholesterol. So nothing sexier than some good old fat, nothing sexier than vegetables, so we're good here today. Now if you can find it from grass-fed local cows, you're doing really good. You're a rock star. If not, regular organic, whole milk, non-Greek yogurt is great because Greek yogurt has been strained. So you're going to get one of these nifty fine mesh strainers, a regular old glass bowl, and a clean kitchen towel. If you have a cheesecloth, that works fine, but any old kitchen towel will do. So I'm going to take my imaginary container of full-fat, organic, whole milk yogurt, and I'm going to dump it on in there. So, confession time, sometimes I use paper towels for this recipe when I'm feeling lazy, but that's not very eco-friendly. So you're going to leave this out for about 8 to 10 hours on your counter, not in your fridge. And so usually I'll do it overnight, so you wake up, it's there, it's done, it's easy. But what's going to happen is you're going to get this yellowy liquid, the whey, that's going to separate, and it's going to be, of course I have to spill it, left in the bowl. And up on top here, in the strainer, you're going to have the strained yogurt. And it's going to look like cream cheese. Well, guess what? It is cream cheese. And you can add a little bit of sea salt, some sun-dried tomatoes, chives, whatever you like in your cream cheese, and you can put that on some celery sticks. It's super yummy, has all the probiotic benefits of yogurt, so it is the best cream cheese you could think of. And I've actually even used it for stuffed strawberries, and man, was it good. So I'm going to set this aside, now that I've told you how to make that. So I have over here 2 cabbages. One is a purple cabbage, one is a regular cabbage. Both of them are local. If you can't get local cabbages, then organic is fine. You don't have to have both colors, but I just wanted to show you. I also have about 2 packed cups of kale. And actually, some of these pieces of kale, if I were to put them in a salad, I might pick out because they're just a tiny bit brown. But for cultured vegetables, that's totally fine as long as they're clean, so nothing goes to waste. And I have some rainbow carrots here, just because I like the different colors because they're pretty, but you can use regular carrots. And same thing, the ends that you would normally cut off, you can leave them in for cultured veggies, so it's great, nothing goes to waste. I have the sea salt, the whey we talked about, and I have some cilantro. Funny story about me and cilantro. It used to taste like soap to me. So anything that had cilantro in it, near it, I was not having it. So I'd always use parsley. Now, after I switched my diet away from a low-fat vegetarian diet, which I was eating very healthy, so I thought, and I added in the good fats and lots of fermented foods, I healed my gut. My health was so much better. My hormones were just all out of whack when I was eating a low-fat vegetarian diet, and I felt and feel fantastic. So, coincidentally, I don't know if it has anything to do with healing my gut, cilantro didn't taste like soap to me anymore. In fact, now I love it. So, fun fact about me. You're also going to need just a big old bowl and some mason jars. I am running low on mason jars, the bigger ones for this recipe. You use less of them. If you don't have mason jars and you save your salsa containers that you might buy, or marinara sauce, as long as they're glass and you have the lids and they're clean, you can use those. So that's easy to do also. So what you also need, or I suggest you have, is a food processor. If you don't have a food processor, I highly recommend getting one. I love my Cuisinart food processor. I use it daily, if not several times a day. If you don't have one, you can still do this recipe. You're just going to have to do a lot of chopping. So I suggest you trick your partner or spouse into doing the chopping into tiny, tiny little bits. So I'm going to go chop up all these vegetables, and in part 2, I'm going to show you what to do with them.